Okay, here we are for the first video. I'm really excited to move forward with this. The first thing that I want to highlight is, if you haven't done it already, to fully charge your Healy. To fully charge it, I think it takes under 1 hour. It charges really fast, really efficiently. I normally leave it to charge overnight. Every night I'm not using it, so it's just charging. But this is the first thing to do, to make sure that it's fully charged, and also that you have downloaded the 2 apps linked below. It's a pink dot app and the blue dot app. We call them like that, so that you have them in your phone and you can connect the 2 apps to your Healy. Very important. So you can do that in the meantime as you watch this video, because we are not yet going to use the apps, but it takes some time, I mean, for them to download relatively fast, but then for your Healy to charge, because you're going to need it for the next video. So in the meantime, you can already do that. Put it to charge, find the 2 apps, download them. When the Healy is charged, connect it to the 2 apps. It's going to ask you to log in. So it takes a little bit of time, because it's like you open the blue dot app and it's going to ask you to pair with the Healy. So you need to scan the Healy. So it takes a little bit of time. So just like you can do this in the meantime, okay? You're gonna need it for the next video. So this is just a heads up that you connect also the Healy to both apps, the blue dot and the pink dot, okay? So that's just like a starting reminder. And other than that, I want to share in the meantime, while these prep steps are being done, a few things to know beforehand, general remarks. If you have never used a Healy before, some things that are really, really good to know beforehand, okay? The first thing to know is that this is energy work. It's a powerful energy work, even though we don't see maybe the frequencies, we don't hear them, we don't, you know, it's invisible to us, to our senses, but it's powerful work regardless. And so one thing that happened to me is I instantly needed to drink way more water. I was very, very thirsty, and this is very typical when you're doing energy work. So this is an invitation as well to be mindful of your water intake the moment you start using the Healy, and that you consciously drink if your body doesn't ask for it, because for me there was no way, like I had to drink more water, like I was so thirsty. So even now I'm drinking like 3 times more water than I used to, because I'm still using the Healy almost daily. And so you know, it's an invitation to be mindful about that, and to, you know, drink more water than ordinary, because then you're helping the energy to move through your system. The Healy is going to wake up, is going to, just be moving energy, emotions, things through your system, whatever needs to be moved, and that takes energy. And then you also probably need to clear out certain things, and the water helps a lot with that. So drinking a lot of water is the first one. By the way, through these videos in general, if you didn't start doing that already, I invite you to take notes, because I'm gonna be dropping a lot of information and things to remember. So if it's not directly sinking in, I mean, for further reference, so you don't have to rewatch the videos again afterwards, I invite you to take notes, so you have your own guidelines basically already. So drinking water, aside from fully charging the Healy and the 2 apps, the first 10 days of using the Healy are different. Why? The body needs to get used to this frequency work that you're going to be doing. And the first 10 days are necessary for that, you know, for your body to get used to it. So I'm going to explain what to do in the first 10 days and how they are different and what to do later. Okay, so the first 10 days, there's a separate video with each app, but there's going to be one app for analysis and one app for sending you frequencies. So one app scans you and the other one sends you frequencies, roughly. One also sends you frequencies, but I'm going to explain that later. But roughly there's that. And so the first 10 days, I recommend that you only do I mean, it's not that I recommend, it's like everyone in Healy, in the Healy community, you know, is actually urging you to only do a set of programs that are called Gold Cycle inside the pink dot app. So remember that, you can note that down, but only do the Gold Cycle programs in the first 10 days of using the Healy. These are programs that are like very holistic, very like the golden frequency. So very It's like they are designed to harmonize your body, and they are gentle, they are holistic. And so these are the programs that you use for your body to get used to this. Okay, so you only do Gold Cycle programs in rotation through the day, every day for 10 days. And after these 10 days, then you can do the rest of the programs in the Pink app. There's dozens of programs. Okay, so you can start testing them all. And the first 10 days, you do the Gold Cycle programs only like at a lower potency. Later you can go up to 100%, but at the beginning not. Why? For me, I didn't even try, within the first 10 days, but certain people in my network tried. At the beginning, they did 100% potency from the beginning, and their body reacted, like freaked out literally, and started they started having very high anxiety. It was just not a healthy reaction. Why? I mean, it's energy work, and the body was not used to it, so it freaked out in a way. It makes sense, right? So that's why I insist so much. The first 10 days, only Gold Cycle programs at around 20% potency, not more, so you get used to it. Okay. So how to use the Healy? You have the two apps. Ideally, it's charging now. It's already charged. You have downloaded the two apps. You pair both apps. It's going to ask you to scan the Healy, to log in, to create your profile, so on and so forth. And you have, in principle, I have them here. You have, in principle, bracelets that have come, okay, that have come with your Healy, okay. The bracelet is what I would suggest to use first. So that you do at least 3 programs with the bracelets a day, morning, midday, evening, for example. Ideally you space them out through the day so that you let your body, some space to integrate. But if it's not possible, you can do the 3 of them in the morning before you go out, I don't know. But the bracelets is like the main thing. So you put them here around your wrists, okay? You put them around your wrist, and then what it really helps with the bracelets is if you can wet your wrists, because this is microcurrent, so there's literally electricity that is going to start passing through your wrists, and the water helps. It's not dangerous at all. It actually helps for the microcurrent to pass. And so what I have done, and that I recommend, my clients to do, like people that get the Healy through me, etc., is to literally take these kind of tissues, fabrics that you use to clean the house that are very thin, that you don't really need, that are, maybe like old clothes even. Then, what I did is cut basically a little strip inside one of the inside one of those. I have 2 of these strips basically, this one as well. Doesn't have to be fancy. I don't know, you do you. But basically I have this, and these I put underwater. So I wet it completely, and then I just make sure that, the water goes away completely. And then I take those and I put them around my wrists. And on top of them, I put the Healy, the Healy bracelets, okay? So that, I'm not doing it completely correct, but you get the idea. So that under the bracelet, you have a wet tissue that is gonna take some time to dry. Why? Because if you don't take the fabric, you basically only have your wrists, and they're gonna dry really fast, but the fabric is gonna take longer to dry. So it's really handy actually to do that. So I recommend that you, every time you do from the beginning with the Gold Cycle programs, from the day 1, you do 3 programs a day with the bracelets, and you take a piece of fabric in each wrist that is wet and you put it underneath. If, let's say, that you do 3 programs in a row in the morning, at some point it's going to dry out, so you can just go under the sink and put some water on your wrist, on the fabric, without even taking out the bracelet, to just wet it again so the current continues to pass. Okay, these are just practical tips to help you. So 3 times a day bracelets to have maximum results. It's stronger, the effect of the programs is stronger. It's direct contact, microcurrent. Some programs you might even feel like electricity in your hands, literally. So bracelets, if you have the coil, this is the coil. right? It's this little piece. It's about 200 euros on the shop, and it's really, really handy. I got it from the beginning on the shop, and thank God, because now it was a tip from someone, but it was super helpful. So you clip it when you're not using the, so it's either or, either the coil, either the bracelets that I just showed you, okay? Either or. If you are leaving the house, if you don't really want to be having the bracelets around your wrists, it's not convenient, you want to clean the house, you want to cook, you want to do something, then you can use the coil. So this I use like through the day as I go in and out of the house, as I travel, as I take the train, it doesn't matter. I wear the coil. So you clip it, like here, basically, like under, like, it's really straightforward when you have it in front of you. So you clip it, and then the thing is, the coil is going to, connect with your Healy and create like a resonance field, where instead of, and then you can wear it on you. I mean, you could put it here. I don't wear it here because I don't find it but I wear it on my pants, basically. Instead of like on the, where a belt would go, I wear it there. And that basically, instead of the direct contact of the microcurrent, it's simply going to vibe out from the device the frequencies. It's a different system. It's not the same. It's a different system. It works too. It works really well for there's been entire weeks I didn't use the bracelets and I only used the coil, and I felt the effects anyway. But especially at the beginning, I highly recommend that you use the bracelets at least 3 times a day. No, 3 times a day. That's it, maximum actually. 3 times a day, because the effect is stronger and you will see results much more efficiently. The coil is kind of a plus. So next to the 3 programs a day with the bracelets, you can also note this down. You can do, on top of the 3 bracelet programs, you can in theory do unlimited programs with the coil through the day on top. Okay, so it's 3 bracelets, and then with the coil you can do extra. I wouldn't recommend, spending 12 hours doing programs non-stop. It's kind of like an overwhelm for your system, and you cannot integrate properly, so I wouldn't really recommend it. But I mean, unlimited, for me, it means like, yes, maybe there are 6 programs that I do with a coil a day, some days, not every day, but some days, yes, and it's fine. So that's the coil. And on top of that, what the team of Healy, the engineers, the frequency healers, etc., recommend is that you have a day a week where you're not doing any programs. That's also really helpful, because you let your system just integrate and just breathe, and no programs, no frequency programs, 1 day a week is a good idea. This is their recommendation. Aside from that, they recommend maximum 3 programs a day with the bracelets. I would recommend to do 3, just so you like really do 3, not do 1, but really do 3. There's people that do 1 a day and not even every day, and like it's gonna take you a long time, in my opinion, to actually feel something. And unless you're extra sensitive. But for me, I started straight away doing several a day, and it still took me a few weeks to really start noticing the effects. So it's really like, I think, a matter of sensitivity. So yeah, 3 programs a day with the bracelets. I would really do just the 3. On top of that, you can do with a coil, unlimited a day, and then you have a day free a week, without any frequencies. So these are all practical details for you to use it. Another practical detail is to do, there's a separate video with the Scans app, the Blue Dot app. But what I do in the mornings is that I scan myself. So I'm actually still in my bed, and I take the Healy and I scan myself. I scan my energetic field right in the morning. It takes about 10 minutes to do the whole scan in depth, but these will come in a different video. But I recommend that you just include that in your morning routine, the Blue app, the Blue Dot app, because you don't have to do it, at another moment in the day. You just do the scan once a week. You screenshot the scan results, and you see like what kind of programs you're supposed to be doing during the day, and the rest of the day you just use the Pink Dot app. Okay, so that's for that. Let me see. There's extra if you feel curious, which was my case definitely. If you feel curious, there's you can add frequency programs into your Healy, into the Pink Dot app. So this is the app where all the frequency programs are. You have programs for emotional health, mental health, fitness, whatever, like everything. And there's like at the bottom, if you open the Pink Dot app, you're gonna see at the bottom of the menu of programs, you have something called expert programs. And there you can add programs there. And it's really, really, really helpful. I'm gonna link below the website where you can request them. It's called, you can request them in 2 places actually. In the Healy website, and there's different programs, so it's 2 different things, but both work with Healy. So on the Healy website, you have like the official Healy programs that are extra, that you are not included in your app, that you can purchase separately. And you have a website that is called School of Frequency, and it's literally like, it's a guy, his job is to design frequencies and to put them, like to send them to you. It's amazing, I think. And so there he has like a bunch of, he works together with Healy, the company, so they are collaborators, right, officially. So he has a bunch of extra frequency programs that are not on, this is not sponsored by the way, it's just awesome. Like I have added so many of these programs because I find them really, really interesting and helpful. When I found it, I was very, very happy. And so it's a bunch of extra programs that are not on the Healy website and that you can see on his website. There is a program he has for feminine energy, another one for even like, you know, protecting yourself against COVID, like all kinds of different things. And you can also request tailored and frequency programs on his website. So for me, I explained this in the previous introduction video. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune condition when I was a teenager, and this is for life, and you can manage your symptoms, but you know, it's there. And so I shared that with him, you know, my autoimmune condition, like if he has tailored, you know, frequency programs for that, etc. And he sent me 3 frequency programs that were not on the Healy website. They were not on his website, but he just could send them, send them to me. And that's amazing. I love it. And so basically you buy it on his website for 30 or 40 euros or 45 or 50, depending on the program. It's a one-time payment. And then he's going to send the programs into your app directly. It's awesome. The next day it's there. So I'm going to share the link, and I have a discount code that is not like sponsored, like I'm not an affiliate of him yet. Maybe I will become one, but he shared in a call, he shared like a discount code, so I have it. And as far as I know, it's still active, so you can try it. So this is it for general like remarks for Healy use, you know, in general, that you really kind of like, I mean, you will learn as well, like how your relationship with the Healy and how to, you know, implement it in your life and how to make it work. But these are baseline general comments on how to use the thing with the bracelets, with a coil, with, you know, 1 day free a week, drinking extra water, being easy, like being, you know, nice to yourself, compassionate with yourself. I would say is very important in the process. One more thing that I can add is, you know, it is probable, it happens to many people, so it is likely almost that at the beginning of using these frequencies, this frequency device, even if you're using the Gold Cycle, that stuff comes up, like you have emotional releases, and even if nothing dramatic happens in your life at this point, it can be that you have an emotional release, that you have to cry for an hour or 2 or 3, you know, or you feel very introverted and you're like, you're not being really like yourself. It might be. It has happened to me. It has happened to clients of mine, and it's normal. It's fine. It's safe. It's actually healthy, because there's certain things if they are stuck in your system, you know, and they are not serving you that way, like, and the Healy is it's doing the energy work. So if it if it catches things in your energetic field that are blocked and that are not helpful right now, it's going to unblock them, and it's going to create like a lot of stuff, you know, kind of coming up to the surface to be released and to be kind of, yeah, released, so you can move on, basically. And that might show up as emotions, as emotional releases, as things coming up. So you can already be kind of mindful of that and create space for that and hold yourself with compassion and allow it. Look, the worst thing you can do is try to block it in that moment because it's trying to help you. So allow it, release. It's safe. And what happened to me, actually, very concretely, it was my first 10 days of using the Healy, and I went to like an appointment to my bank, like the least emotional, like just like admin, like something completely not dramatic at all. And I came back home and I just cried for like 2 hours. That the meeting had nothing to do, like, it was just like, you know, we put a lot of beautiful things into place for my investment portfolio and things like that. And I came back home and I had to cry for 2 hours. And I was like, what? And it was such a purge. It was such a release. And it came up like unexpectedly. Thank God I didn't have any more appointments. It just came up. And it's just like, I just needed to release something. I was not judging it. I was not trying to analyze it. I was not trying to really understand exactly what was happening. I just started releasing and releasing. It felt right to do so. And afterwards, after this release, I felt so like a new person, like so much lighter. Like, what? Like, what just happened? What was this about? And I felt so good. I really felt so much better, like so much lighter. Like somebody pressed reset, you know, on me or something. And it was great. So just to tell you that it might be unexpected, even if nothing dramatic happens in your life, it might be that stuff resurfaces and it's safe, it's fine, and it's actually healthy. After a while, for me, in any case, it stopped happening so dramatically, so to speak, you know, like, I mean, just like this out of the blue, like it stopped. But every person's journey with the Healy is different. So that was something that I wanted to highlight as well, just to be aware. So these are general remarks. I hope that by now your Healy is fully charged, that you have the 2 apps installed and linked with your Healy. And now you're ready for the next videos, in which I'm going to explain, now that the Healy is linked to both apps, I'm going to start with the blue app. So I invite you to open the blue dot app. And then I'm going to walk you through that. We're going to start with that, and then we're going to talk about the pink dot app, and you will be briefed about all things Healy and how to use it. And then you can just run with your guidelines, with your handwritten notes, and find your flow by yourself through this. So see you in the next video.